Step into the unknown with the shadow frequency and your host, Matt Wilson, as he takes you where the shadows hum.
Welcome to the Shadow Frequency, episode 155, where we dive into the unseen corners of the world, chasing whispers of the unknown. I'm Juniper, your producer, and tonight we're venturing deep into the Australian Outback, where an ancient, elusive creature lurks in the shadows. The Yowie, this hairy, towering cryptid, woven into Aboriginal lore, is said to roam the wild, a spectral guardian or a fearsome predator from the dream time. Matt, I hope you're ready to tread carefully through the bushlands. What got you spooked about this one?
No, Juniper, it's those tales of the Yowie's glowing eyes and talon-like claws that get me.
All right.
I mean, a 12-foot-tall ape-man staring you down in the middle of nowhere? That's the stuff of nightmares.
Better keep your flashlight handy then. All right, listeners, buckle up for a chilling ride into the heart of Australia's paranormal wilderness. Over to you, Matt.
Welcome, Shadow Seekers, to the Shadow Frequency. Tonight, we're peeling back the veil on the Yowie, Australia's enigmatic answer to Bigfoot, a creature whose legend is as old as the land itself. Picture this, the vast, desolate outback, where the wind howls through the eucalyptus trees and the stars burn cold above. In this untamed wilderness, something ancient stirs. A bipedal hairy beast standing anywhere from 6 feet 11 inches to a towering 12 feet tall, its massive frame cloaked in shaggy fur, its eyes glinting in the moonlight. This is the Yowie, a cryptid rooted in Aboriginal oral history, known by many names: Quincan in Queensland, Jugabina, Kindaring, or even Yahoo, meaning hairy people. The Yowie story begins in the dream time, that sacred Aboriginal concept of creation where spirits shape the world. Tribes like the Kuku-Yalanji of far north Queensland speak of coexisting with these beings for centuries, their legends filled with tales of awe and terror. Some describe the Yowie as a guardian of the land, a spectral figure watching over sacred sites. Others paint it as a predator, with talon-like claws and fang-like canines capable of tearing through kangaroos or even snatching unwary travelers. One account, from the Githable people of the Queensland-New South Wales border, tells of the Jugabina, a Yowie-like entity that strides between the physical and spiritual realms, a bridge to the unseen. Sightings aren't just ancient lore, they persist into modern times. In 1928, at Palin Creek, near Woodinbong, a man named Bob Mitchell described seeing a 7-foot-tall creature with a black human-like face and a gorilla-like body covered in brownish hair, standing in a clearing. He said there was no mistaking it in the daylight. Fast forward to December 2021. 3 men driving home from a plantation in Queensland froze in disbelief at a massive hairy figure loomed under a streetlight. Its presence so overwhelming, they couldn't look away. One of them, Sterling Slocott Bennett, later said, "We were in utter disbelief of what we were seeing." What makes the Yowie so unsettling is its elusiveness. Witnesses report massive footprints, sometimes human-like, sometimes with strange, inconsistent toe counts, as if the creature defies earthly biology. Some say it moves with unnatural speed, vanishing into the bush like a phantom. Others report eerie howls echoing through the night, like the land itself is crying out. In Aboriginal lore, the Yowie isn't just a beast, it's a warning, a reminder to respect the land and its mysteries. The Kuku-Yalanji even claim it's attacked their people, a force to be feared. And then there's the physical evidence. Hair samples with unknown genetic markers, triangular tree structures found deep in the wilderness, like eerie markers of Yowie territory. In Queensland, researchers have found these teepee-like formations made of saplings and logs, with footprints and hair nearby, suggesting something intelligent, something watchful, is out there. The Yowie's presence lingers in places like Yowie Bay, named for its haunting howls, described as a place of echoes. Juniper, I don't know about you, but the idea of stumbling across one of those tree structures in the middle of the outback gives me chills. What do you think? Would you go looking for a Yowie?
Matt, I'd probably run the other way if I heard one of those howls.
Right.
Those stories make the outback sound like it's alive with secrets. What's next?
Hold that thought, Shadow Seekers. Juniper's got something special for us before we dive deeper. Over to you, Juniper.
Wow, listeners, isn't the Yowie giving you goosebumps? I'm already imagining those glowing eyes watching from the trees. What do you think? Is this Australia's Bigfoot or something even stranger? Stay tuned for more chilling Yowie tales in the second half. Hey, if you're loving the Shadow Frequency, think about liking and subscribing, and you can follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, and any major podcast directory. Then you can visit our website, shadowfrequencypodcast.com, where you can find all of our episodes. You can also leave us a voicemail telling us where you're listening from. Check out our Shadow blog. It's got companion articles for each episode, which are kind of cool. You can grab some cool swag from our store, or you can support us by buying us a coffee, or in Matt's case, pizza rolls. Now it's diving in the mailbag, where we share your thoughts and stories. I gotta reach over here and hit that button.
It's time for the Shadow Frequency mailbag.
Thank you, Chris. All right, Shadow Seekers, it's time for the mailbag, where we hear from you, our incredible listeners. Today, we've got a message from Reagan in Kentucky. Here's what Reagan wrote. Dear Shadow Frequency team, I'm absolutely obsessed with your podcast. I listen every week while driving through the back roads of Kentucky, and it makes those dark, winding roads feel even creepier in the best way possible. I've been really hoping for an episode on the Yowie and would love for you guys to do one. Your stories always give me chills, and I love how you dive into the spooky details. Keep up the amazing work. Well, thanks, Reagan, for the love. We're so glad you're enjoying the show. And hey, this Yowie episode, it's hitting the mark, and it's just for you. Keep those messages coming, folks. Send us your thoughts at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. All right, Matt, take us back to the Outback.
Welcome back, Shadow Seekers, to the Shadow Frequency. We're deep in the Australian wilderness chasing the Yowie, a creature that's haunted the outback and Aboriginal lore for centuries. Let's pick up where we left off with more spine-chilling encounters. In 1976, in Woodinbong, New South Wales, unofficially dubbed Yowie Country, a resident named Thelma Crewe stood at her kitchen window on a moonlit night. She saw not one, but two Yowies step onto her lawn. She described them as flexing their long, hairy arms, standing motionless, staring toward her. One even moved toward her sleeping husband's bedroom window, as if drawn by something unseen. Thelma's account, reported in the Northern Star, sent ripples through the community. A year later, another Woodinbong resident, Mrs. Maloney, had a terrifying encounter. Woken by her dog's frantic barking, she ran outside to find a Yowie sitting on its haunches, crushing her Australian Terrier against its chest. She described it as over 6 feet tall, with an almost hairless ape-like face, ginger-colored hair, and no visible neck. When it noticed her, it dropped the dog and fled. These stories aren't isolated. Cryptozoologist Dean Harrison, who's documented hundreds of sightings, says he's had his own life-changing encounter. He described a Yowie roaring at him, forcing him to flee for his life. But what is the Yowie? Some believe it's a relic hominid, perhaps a descendant of Homo erectus or even the ancient ape Gigantopithecus, somehow surviving in Australia's vast wilderness. Others see it as a spiritual entity, tied to the dream time, moving between worlds. Aboriginal cave art in places like Sydney Harbor depicts tall, hairy figures alongside humans, suggesting a deep coexistence or conflict. The Yowie's tracks, often massive and inconsistent, and audio recordings of guttural growls add to the mystery. Some hair samples have even shown unusual DNA markers, hinting at an unknown species. Now, I'll admit, not everyone buys into the Yowie's existence. Skeptics like historian Graham Joyner argue it's a case of mistaken identity, with the Yahoo of the Aboriginal lore confused with the modern Yowie. He suggests sightings might be misidentified animals or outright hoaxes, pointing to the lack of concrete fossils or remains. But with the thousands of reports from Aboriginal elders to modern cryptozoologists like the late Rex Gilroy, who collected over 3,000 accounts, the Yowie's grip on Australia's imagination is undeniable. Whether it's a flesh and blood creature or a phantom of the dream time, the Yowie keeps us wondering what's really out there in the shadows. Juniper, these stories make me think twice about camping in the Outback. What's your take? Are you ready to hunt for a Yowie yet?
Matt, I'm sticking to city lights after those tales.
Yeah.
That dog crushing story? No,
Right.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Wrap us up, I think.
You got it. Over to you, Juniper, for the sign-off.
That's a wrap on episode 155 of The Shadow Frequency, where we ventured into the eerie world of the Yowie. I'll show you shadowy cryptid. From Aboriginal Dreamtime legends to modern-day encounters, this creature keeps the Outback's mysteries alive. If you loved tonight's episode, head to shadowfrequencypodcast.com, where you can find all of our episodes. Check out our Shadow blog, grab some swag, leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear where you're listening from. Huge thanks to Reagan from Kentucky for the awesome message. Until next time, keep your eyes on the shadows. Matt, say goodbye.
Stay spooky, Shadow Seekers.
All right. Good night, everyone.
This episode was produced with a commitment to exploring the unexplained while grounding our discussion in documented discoveries. All interpretations are speculative and intended for entertainment purposes.